So here are three things when I thought about this. These are 3 daily action steps that if you do this and then you add what Lona just added as the 4th, regular vision casting, I promise you it'll be impossible. Listen very carefully. It'll be impossible to not grow. Okay. Second, it'll be impossible to not grow quickly. So when you do these 3 things, you will grow, and you will grow quickly if you can get into the habit and do them daily.
Hello, and welcome to Build Your Remarkable Practice podcast. This podcast is dedicated to chiropractors who are in the seasons of launching and building their practice. Join myself, Dr. Lona, and my co-host, Dr. Bobby, as we have conversations each week as it relates to building the practice of your dreams. And remember, you can have a remarkable practice as part of a remarkable life, not instead of one. We're here to lead you on the way.
What's up, team? Welcome back to the Build Your Remarkable Practice podcast with the fantastic Dr. Lona Cook and myself, Dr. Bobby Ladasovic. And Lona, it is fantastic to be back. I feel like I've been on a bit of a hiatus the last 4 weeks. I've just gotten back from a beautiful Mediterranean, sunny European trip, which I do every year. So I must say I've missed you guys. I've missed being on the podcast. I've listened to some of the episodes that have been coming out, but I'm officially back and ready to rock and roll and refresh and recharge. But how have you been? I feel like I haven't seen you in a little while now.
I know. I mean, you're glowing, Bobby. You're glowing. I'm great. I'm really good. It is a great time to be excited about chiropractic. And I know we're going to talk about that today. So we've been building some momentum in our area, looking at lots of opportunities to keep growing and expanding. And it's just fun being playful with the opportunities coming our way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I know prior to today's show, we're having a bit of a chat about that. So Lona and myself were talking about some opportunities that are on the plate, which are really exciting. And it really kind of segued into something that I've been thinking about a lot recently as well. And we thought, you know what, now's the time to do an episode on this. And as I've been away, so I've been in Europe for the last 4 weeks. We do that every year, my family and myself. We go there and kind of get back to our roots, but also at the same time, get back to the simple life. So we've got a house that we rebuilt there on the coast in Croatia. So we go back and visit a lot of family in Serbia, spend some time in Croatia, get a lot of beach, sun and salt. But I also find it's the perfect environment to reflect, to pay gratitude, which is a lesson in itself, but also to vision cast and just zoom out and take a 10,000 foot view of things. Because I think as you kind of get into your day-to-day grind, it's very easy to get caught up in that and not take regular times to zoom out. And one of the things, Lona, that has been in my mind a lot in recent times is we've had some phenomenal growth across multiple businesses that we have, quite frankly, this year, and even maybe last 18 to 24 months. And something that's been in my mind a lot that I want to talk about today is the fact that in business in general, let's just start with general business. So whether you're someone that has a lawn mowing company, whether you're somebody that has a car detailing company, whether you're someone that's selling caravans, or whether you're someone that has a chiropractic business, we live in this time today where it's never, ever been easy to grow a business. That's the first thing, okay? The way that technology has evolved, the way that times have evolved, I wholeheartedly believe you create your own economy. You are the master of your own destiny. And we could talk about this a lot, but just, some small, easy examples. I'm old enough now where I realize a time before social media, okay? Where I realize a time where social media didn't exist. In fact, I still remember my first social media account. I resisted Facebook for about 6 months when everyone around me kind of had a Facebook account, right? And I was like, nah, I'm not going to go on it. So I do remember the time, before even Google was a thing. We used to go into Yahoo. We used to go into, there was another one, 9MSN. I used to use 9MSN as my search engine, right? But the reality is I remember a time where A, information was harder to get, and B, getting your message out to people was harder to do. You had to go into mediums which were like TV or mediums like newspaper or mediums like Spinal Screening, which are still great. I still love them. But we live in a time right now today where, you make your own economy, quite literally. You have a device in your hand that allows you to get in front of thousands of eyeballs in front of your community. And it's just up to you to decide that you want to do it. And then B, learning the skill sets about how to do it effectively. Now, couple that with the fact that I had a team meeting with my docs before I left to go overseas. And one of the topics that we're talking about is I, in my office at the moment, don't do any adjusting. So as some of you guys know or might not know, I dislocated my shoulder. So I've been adjusting last however many months. So I've had the opportunity to do a lot of day twos, chatting to people. Day ones, day twos, just chatting to people. And I can see that there's this shift that's definitely happened when I compare the baby boomers, so my parents' generation, to Generation X and Generation Y and, the millennials, all this kind of stuff. they talk about, and there's this been definite shift where people more than ever before are looking for natural solutions to their health. They're looking and they believe that their body is intelligent. They're understanding that if I pour into my body, it's going to give back to me. I look at my parents' generation, smoking was profound in my parents' generation. In my parents' generation, pills and medications, just give me a pill and medication. And I can see that we live in this time now where it's never been easier to grow a chiropractic office because there's this confluence of you make your own economy, number one, and number two, that there's this greater awareness around health and how I can pour into my body. And now's the time to seize that situation. So I want to have a chat about that because, Lona, what's been your experience with this, first of all? Have you seen the same trend, or is this just me, noticing and painting a rosy picture of myself? What are your thoughts on this, first of all, before we go into some of the ways that we can leverage this?
I think you're spot on. And I think in a post-2020 world too, it's just it was already accelerating, and then it just like really ramped up after that, where maybe people don't know that part of what they're looking for is called chiropractic. They may have preconceived notions about what they think they need versus what the solutions really are that are out there, but they are looking for it. And I definitely think the younger generation is aware of maybe they don't trust pharma the way that a generation or two before of them did. And they're looking for things that are not top down necessarily.
Yeah.
So yeah.
100%. And let me tell you what I think is a part of it. I don't think this is the only thing, but I think there's definitely a part of it. Okay. I noticed early in my career. So I've been practicing now for, I think 12 years. I remember in the early part of my career when I didn't quite know how to communicate chiropractic, I used to get scared talking about chiropractic. So what I realized though with time, Lona, is that it wasn't my fear talking about chiropractic. It was actually the label chiropractic. All right. What I actually started to realize is that the principles of chiropractic, almost every single person believes. And what I mean by that is, let's say a specialist used to come into my office. I would be reserved with kind of saying, oh, so chiropractic is amazing at optimizing your nervous system. That, I don't know, I found that hard in the early days to do. However, I never found it hard to a specialist to say something like, hey, so why do people get adjusted regularly? Well, we always know every single system in the body is important, right? But there's one organ that controls everything. And everyone would agree on that. They'd say, yeah, it's the brain, the central nervous system. I never found that hard. I never found it difficult, for example, to have a conversation about, hey, so, we know that the cardiovascular system is what gives blood to the body, right? If you stop blood supply to the body, what's going to happen? Well, that's not going to be very good. Correct. What about the nervous system? If someone becomes a paraplegic and severs their spinal cord, what happens? Stops working. Well, what happens if an area or a joint deteriorates over time, becomes dysfunctional, gets inflamed? Could that potentially affect the nervous system too? I never had problems talking about that kind of stuff. I never had problems talking about that the body's intelligent. I would say to specialists all the time, hey, even after a surgery, like how does the body heal? And people would say, well, it heals itself, through the healing process. I know, isn't there amazing intelligence about it? And what I recognize is that the principles of chiropractic, not only did I never have problems talking about, because they were just truth, they were just honest truth about things that have already been proven. But the second thing that I realized is that it's actually really attractive. Like, people loved talking about the fact that our body is intelligent. People love talking about the fact that your body has this innate ability to regulate stress. People really enjoyed that. So from an early point in my career, I just spoke about chiropractic principles, even if I didn't call them chiropractic. Do you know what I mean? And I just saw more.
And I think you're drawing parallels to many things then too.
Yeah, right. Totally. So then I just recognized more and more and more as time went on, I just kept speaking chiropractic principles, whether that meant I was doing a workshop, whether that meant I was at a screening. And now in current times, whether that means, you're making content online, or you're running ads, or, you're running organic content. But 100%, there is this shift. And what I'm getting at is, I think part of that, ready? Here's the nuance. People believe this already. So if you're listening to this online, I have no doubt that you have a digital profile of some kind. You're either on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, one of the main social media channels. Now, those algorithms, they work, Lona, by showing you more of what you're already into. So if people are already into these things, and then they start clicking on things online, like, top 5 health tips to help your kidneys stay healthy, right? You click on that. Guess what? The algorithm is trained in a way where it just starts showing you more and more and more and more. And your world suddenly becomes those things. And so I feel as though that's a large part of why we're experiencing this, because A, people believe it already. So B, when they start watching it in a digital environment, C, it starts to become all around them. And that's why you're getting these people that are more educated than ever before coming into your office and coming into my office.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time to put your message out. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Spot on the mark. So here's what I want to get your thoughts and feedback on. Knowing all this, I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and I've come to realize that it's never been easier to build a chiropractic office than what it is right now in our current times. And I believe it's only going to get easier as algorithms get more intelligent, okay? There used to be this big thing about $1 million office and how that was kind of a great benchmark. I would say $1 million office now is easy. $2 million office, easy, okay? $3 million office, easy, but still has complexity to it. Now, easy doesn't mean that it's simple, all right? Like you still have to have focus and discipline in right areas. But I want to talk about today the fact that we live in a time right now where you're the master of your own economy, and it's never been easy. And it starts with a mindset shift. And when you can understand it in your mindset, and then you learn the systems and the process behind it. And then here's the other thing, Lona. Back in the day, getting a mentor, all right, that was harder because it's harder to kind of like learn about a person, see where they're at. Now you can look at someone online, Facebook, follow them for a while and be like, yep, that totally makes sense. And bang, you can get mentors that help accelerate you on your journey on the way there as well. So that's been what my mindset has been around a lot lately. What's been your thought process on this? Because I know there used to be this 5-year starvation period in chiropractic. I used to hear people say there's 5 years of starvation when you're starting a practice practice. And I'm going to push back on that and say, in today's world, I don't think that's the case anymore. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever heard that one, but I think no matter who's giving you your narrative, whether it's 5 years of starvation or, it's going to be tough to start a practice, like the more you believe the story, the more that is what you experience, right? So, what Bobby just said, like, I would rather have more of that. Oh, I believe it's easy to create a $2 million practice. Or I believe we've never had so many opportunities that we have in chiropractic. And the more we believe that, the more we act in that belief system, which leads to those outcomes, right? So it's like the momentum of our belief system gets behind us, and you can build momentum for all the reasons why you're not having something too. So I just check your storyline, and maybe a mentor planted something in your mind that is like, oh, you've got to have it be tough and finding new patients is tough. And that's the storyline you're living out. So you can audit that and change that.
Yeah, also, and that brings about a perfect point, okay? You'll ultimately end up being like the people that you're around. So if you're around someone that, oh, well, this is hard or that's hard, you're just going to start thinking that, right? Or if you're around someone that's like, all you got to do is do internal referrals, you'll start thinking that, right? And you'll start believing, right, all I got to do is internal referrals. Internal referrals are fantastic, but why not compound it with other forms of marketing, advertising, and start really exploiting things gangbusters if that's truly your mission and if that aligns with your vision and your goals in life, right? You're the master of your own economy, and right now you have a social profile online. You have certain beliefs and you have certain ways that you view the world, definitely. And really, one of the best action steps that you can take is just start getting a camera on yourself and start documenting the way that you believe that you view the world. And you will naturally just attract other people that view the world like that. That's been my experience around this. And, the 5-year starvation period, that's something that I heard. I once heard it on a speech. I think that Sid Williams was talking to a class assembly. And it was my experience when I started an office. So 2012, I think I started, 12 or 13. That was one of my challenges. Definitely. I was like, the first 2 or 3 years was struggle street. And then recently we opened another office to do an experiment on it, right? 6 months ago, we opened a new office, and I just got back from vacation from a month. And I looked at that office, and that office is on a $1.4 million runway, 6 months into it, and not slowing down, right? Like expanding and speeding up. And we just did a project planner for the next quarter about what are the major projects to move it forward. And I just had to have a moment where I looked and reflected on that. And I go, what was the difference between my first office that took me, I think my first office took me 5 years to hit $1 million, and this one that took under 6 months with no involvement from me adjusting people to get over 7 figures. And really the only difference was specialized knowledge. And it's the people that I invested in, people that I have in my circle, things that you understand. And then the times right now today, because back in the day, part of the reasons why it took me so long is I was on the front line doing everything. I was doing all the screenings and try and get in front of people. Whereas right now, the audience is there. You just got to get in front of them, right?
Yep. And then have the capacity within your team to deliver on it, right?
Yep. 100%. Exactly. So on that, what are some action steps? I've got 3 things here. I've got 3 things that are almost daily action steps that if you do these 3 things every single day, do not miss a day. It is almost impossible not to grow. Okay. So I looked at our journey, not only with our offices that we've been growing, that we own, but our businesses in wider as well. I have 4 primary businesses that I'm involved with, that I grow and that I own. So I've got 3 daily non-negotiables that I distilled down. And when I looked at these businesses, found that if you do these 3 things daily, it is impossible to not grow. Okay. Now, before I reveal my 3 things, Lona, what do you think? Have you got something on there that's either a daily or a weekly cadence or a monthly cadence that when you look at your routine that you go, this is an essential part of definitely my routine with how I manage things? Is there anything? I'm excited to see what you've got, because I know that you've got, world-class routines around things. And while we could talk about this for hours, is there one or two things that kind of come to mind that you're like, you know what, I know that if I do this in a regular routine, put it in my daily planner, it's going to lead to growth? Anything come to mind for you?
Yeah, I think daily, if possible. Weekly obviously is great, but daily would be better. Time spent on your vision, which is like a above down, inside out process, like clearly spending time articulating what you're trying to create. This could be in your practice, this could be in your personal life, whatever. Putting it down on paper, fleshing out the details, helping your left and right brain gravitate onto that. And then the special sauce, I think, is you're doing that when your tone is in a place of like peace, love, joy, gratitude, expansion, because there's a lot more energy coming through you at that point. And obviously, sometimes this is truly an alone process, and that's a good thing. And other times it's connecting in with mentors and people that are going to help you see bigger and find solutions faster. But also alone time is critical too.
See, this is why I love your genius, and it complements me so well, because you're spot on the mark. I didn't have that on my dailies, but it absolutely should be a daily thing. Falling in love with a vision. And I have also found, Lona, I'm not sure if this has been your experience, I'd love to hear it as well. The higher levels that you go up, the more important this becomes. So in the early days when you're starting a practice, it's key to know and carve out what your vision story is and regularly fall back in love with it. But as you grow levels and as you grow your team, like we have teams now in some of our offices that have dozens of people. And I have found also that you need to have that same thing for each team member, because when you can cast a vision for someone on their future greater than what they can cast for themselves, you become a very important person in that person's life. It's part of the stick factor. What's been your experience with that?
Yeah, I think that's great. If your vision doesn't include someone else's vision growing, they're going to leave. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's also, I think, a part of patient retention. Like people come into our office usually because of some kind of pain. Okay. They've got back pain, headaches, or something like that. But if through your process of getting them adjusted, you can actually continue to cast a vision for themselves greater than what they believe, that means, yes, that we can deal with, we could help their body heal from pains or issues. But you know what? Also casting vision for someone around, well, guess what? We know society is sick and suffering, and it's because of these bad choices they make through bad information out there. And we are chronically inflamed. We are chronically diseased. And guess what? Best practices show us there's things that you can do to optimize your body. And that's a message that's sexy. And so when you can start to communicate that through the patient journey, that guess what? The adjustments absolutely are going to help your body heal, but they help you heal because they optimize your nervous system. And when your nervous system is functioning at its best, we find the most common feedback that we get is not the pain goes away, but it's actually things like energy is increasing, sleep's improving. Guess what? My sinuses for some weird reason have cleared up. Hey, pins and needles stopped. Guess what? I feel energetically, I'm waking up different. That's the most common feedback that we get, Lona. And why do you think that we get that feedback, right? Gets people thinking. And that's because your nervous system benefits when someone's in a regular chiropractic care. And when your nervous system benefits, everything starts to improve. Your exercise gets better. Your choice around nutrition gets better. Now there's education around that. But what I'm saying is you start to then actually expand the vision for people, where people start looking and start seeing that, you know what, health isn't purely by chance, but I can actually control it massively. And then you become a great person to be associated with moving forward as their health coach, essentially.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So true. Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, I love it. So one of your dailies is regularly fall in love with your vision. Great. Perfect. I'm going to add it to that. So here are 3 things when I thought about this. These are 3 daily action steps that if you do this and then you add what Lona just added as the 4th, regular vision casting, I promise you it'll be impossible. Listen very carefully. It'll be impossible to not grow. Okay. Second, it'll be impossible to not grow quickly. So when you do these 3 things, you will grow, and you will grow quickly if you can get into the habit and do them daily. Okay. Here's what they are. You ready? Number 1, daily, you should be creating content. Now, creating content means speak in front of a camera. Well, what should I speak on, Bobby? I don't care. Speak about your life. I like to say document rather than create. Document means just document your life. Document how you do your meals. Document how you do a morning routine. Document how you vacation. Document how you assess what foods to be buying. Document how you're getting adjusted. Okay, document rather than create. That's step number 1. Get a camera in front of you. And I say this to every single person on my team, CAs, DCs, everyone. Okay. There's something that happens when you look into a camera. I've got a phone right now and you speak to a camera. I don't care if you just record it and you don't even post it anywhere, but get into the habit of every single day speaking to a camera. You will start to develop the skill set of being able to communicate, lead, and influence. And that'll be a skill set that will serve you, whether you're putting together content for paid content, whether you're putting together a workshop that you're doing, whether you're doing a presentation. If you get comfortable speaking to a camera daily, you will improve how you communicate and your conviction around things. That's number one. All right. So daily speaking in front of the camera. Lona, you want to add anything on that? Any thoughts, comments?
I love that. And that's out of some people's comfort zones quite a bit. So that's eat it up. You can do it.
It's out of almost everyone's comfort zone in the beginning. I haven't met anyone yet who, when they've never done this, go, yeah, put a camera in front of me, no problems, and they bang out a great video. But if you just keep doing it daily, I promise you, it'll be a muscle that you develop and you'll start to become pro. And it's the person that you become through the process of doing this daily. You will change with how you communicate, with how you lead, and how you influence. So number one, create content daily. Even if you're not posting it, I do not care. Just create it daily. Okay. Action step number one. Action step number two. Social media is called social for a reason. You're supposed to be social on there. Okay. There's also a saying that many of us have heard that I didn't understand for a long time, that your net worth will be equivalent to your network. All right. I'm sure all of us have heard this before. So social media is there to be social. And what that means is, number two, daily reach outs. If you every single day set a habit where you go, I'm going to reach out and connect with 5 people and just reach out. Hey, Dr. Lona, what's going on? How have you been? How's life? How's practice? Okay. Anyone, I do not care, but get social. Drop comments for people, send messages to people, reach out to people, give yourself a target, 5 people per day to reach out with, connect with. Okay. You'll become pro at starting conversations, continuing conversations, communicating with people, and actually expanding your network just by reaching out and speaking to people. Very simple. Okay. Or you can do the opposite and be a hermit and just observe things, not interact with things. Okay. And then get into your own mind and question and second doubt yourself around things. Just start being social. Daily reach outs to people. Okay. Minimum 5 per day. If you want to get really badass with this, let's go 20 a day. Reach out to 20 people a day and you watch what happens. All right. That's step number 2. Lona, you want to add anything to that? Thoughts, comments?
No, I love that. And yes, you have to engage. This is like just like showing up externally in places around your community. Showing up online is critical.
Yeah, totally. And you just nailed it, because back in the day, the way that you grow is you get in front of people. They say you shake hands and kiss and hug babies or something like that, right? Well, guess what? That world still exists, but so does digital world, where you can reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in 12 months and just reach out and say, hey, man, what's going on? Hey, Dr. Bobby, been listening to you online. Love what you guys have been saying. I've got a question about this. Bang. Straight away, you bring me into your network in that example. Okay? Daily reach out, 5 per day. All right? And then here is action step number 3. Final one from me at the moment is this. And it kind of speaks into what Lona's chatted about at the beginning. Okay? And that is surround yourself with the right people and connect with those people daily. Because I worked out very simple. If you hang out with 5 drunks, you're going to be the 6th drunk. If you hang out with 5 millionaires, you're going to be the 6th millionaire. If you're building a practice right now and you're stuck and you're isolated on your own, start hanging out with people, all right, that are already scaling successfully, preferably. I know that there's a lot of people scaling not successfully. Start hanging out with people that are scaling successfully. Now, how can you do that, Dr. Bobby? Well, guess what? Reach out to us, connect. We'll tell you where. Get into masterminds. This is why when we coach, very often we'll take people into masterminds, because we put you in the right mastermind where there's people at the level that you're at or above, okay? And they become part of your network. So surround yourself with the right people, because the law of attraction is absolutely real and right. And if you start surrounding yourself with people that are also struggling, you'll keep struggling. If you surround yourself regularly with people that are kicking ass, you'll be kicking ass, and connect with them daily. Lona, what's been your experience with this?
Yes, so true. And at the end of the day, we don't stay in a stagnant place. So you're either growing or you're doing the opposite of growth. And so there's the discomfort in both. So choose your discomfort, right? Like the discomfort of going after your dreams and doing it with people pushing your cutting edge of what your comfort zone is a better discomfort in my book than not growing and the discomfort that comes from what happens in that place.
Yep, spot on the mark, nailed it. So I think this is a really important episode to have, because like I said, guys, the opportunity is how long the window will stay open for. I don't know. Nobody knows that answer. But I really, been thinking about this a lot recently. And if you are regularly vision casting and falling in love with the vision of what you're trying to achieve, your mind will start believing that, acting in a way that you've already achieved it. If you start creating content every single day, speaking in front of a camera, you will turn pro at leading, influencing, communicating. If you every single day reach out to people, you'll expand your network. You'll start talking to more people, and you'll become expert at being able to start, initiate, and maintain conversations successfully. And number 3, if you surround yourself with rock stars and these people you have touch base with on a daily basis, it is impossible to not grow. And I challenge you right now to do that for Q4 at the end of this year and then message us and let us know exactly what that leads to. Lona, any final thoughts, comments on that?
That was so good. So good. So much of that. Go back and re-listen and ask yourself if you're affirming those things and then actually doing those things. Right.
Yep. Nailed it. And a simple action step, very simple, guys. If you want us to influence you, hey, add us on our socials. Okay. I'm Dr. Bogdan Ilijasevic on my Instagram handle. Lona, you're Lona Cook on your Instagram handle.
Yep.
Follow us on our social, guys. You'll see it. I try and post it almost every day. Follow us on our socials. And that's how you get also us into your world for free. So go online, socials, follow us, guys. And that's already surrounding yourself with the right people. Lona, until next time, fantastic episode. Please go back, guys, and listen to this one because it's golden if you understand the concepts in it.
Thanks, Bobby.
Catch you guys.
Hey, Remarkables, let me ask you, can you imagine generating more than 600 qualified new patient leads per month? How about seeing 183 new patients in 1 month? Imagine your practice generating more than $100,000 a week in collections, on track to doing over $5 million this year. Sound impossible? Well, those are the real results that TRP's own Dr. Bobby Ilijasevic is enjoying as we speak. Those are his July numbers, and August is going to be even better. Coach Bobby has been a new patient generation machine for nearly 10 years. I know because I've been coaching him since day one, but now he is going totally bionic. He has cracked the code on new patient generation, and he is ready to share it all with you guys. Do you want to get in on this? Join us for the annual Remarkable Attraction Marketing Immersion, October 10th and 11th in Phoenix, Arizona, and October 24th and 25th in Adelaide, Australia. Coach Bobby will be walking you and your team through every step of his remarkable lead machine system. Click the link in the show notes below and register your team now. But Dr. Bobby's sessions are only one of the reasons that you and your team need to be at the Remarkable Attraction Immersion. Let me ask you, have you started using AI to drive new patients into your practice yet? There's a new era in marketing that's powered by AI, and it's creating a surge of new patients for docs that know how to leverage it. Don't miss this wave. Our team of experts will show you exactly how the most successful marketers are using AI to generate record numbers of new patient leads in internal marketing, external marketing, and of course, digital marketing. Have you developed a fully leveraged marketing machine where you'll have total confidence that you'll predictably smash your goals month after month after month? Stop leaving tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table due to lackluster internal new patient referrals. Stop wasting time and spinning your wheels trying to figure out how to get butts and seats for your outside speaking events. Stop throwing good money after bad on digital marketing. That's just not working. Doc, you should be seeing a 5 times to 10 times ROI on your marketing dollars. Our clients are crushing this. This weekend seminar will feature a 3-track format focusing on optimizing your internal, external, and digital lead generation. 9 breakout sessions in total, with a special emphasis on best practices leveraging AI for all of them. Bring your team. Everyone in your practice is a marketer. Let us inspire and equip them to help you fill your schedule book with more qualified new patients. Join us for the annual Remarkable Attraction Marketing Immersion, October 10th and 11th in Phoenix, Arizona, and October 24th and 25th in Adelaide, Australia. Click the link in the show notes here or go to the remarkablepractice.com events page and register your team today.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Build Your Remarkable Practice podcast. Remember, what the world needs now is chiropractic, and what chiropractic needs now is more successful chiropractors. If you like the podcast, please subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a review. And if you'd like to connect with us personally, please click the links in the show notes to schedule a call.